flight lock-in.
SRM TVC blowdown.
T-minus 15
Igniters
seconds.
armed.
ROFE ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8,
Tester start.
7,
6,
5,
5,
4,
3,
2,
2, 1.
0.
Liftoff.
We have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying GPS IIF-SV1 for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System serves the U.S. military, America's transportation system, and civilian users around the world.
Coming up 20 seconds into the flight. Mark, 20 seconds. Still looking good. Good engine control and roll, and good engine control, pitch and yaw. "35 seconds in. Chamber pressure now beginning to decline on solid rocket motor 1 and 2 very symmetrically, as we'd expect at this point in the flight. Coming up 47 seconds. Passing 47 seconds. That's Mach 1, standing by for 1 minute. 1 minute, maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle, max Q.
You are hearing the voice of Steve Agid, providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Now passing 1 minute, 10 seconds into the flight. Coming up 1 minute, 20 seconds. Mark, 1 minute, 20 seconds into the flight. Standing by for SRM burnout, solid rocket motor burnout less than 10 seconds from now. Chamber pressure reducing in the both solids. Standing by for SEP. And we have SEP. Solid motor 1 and 2 have separated successfully from the vehicle. 1 minute, 47 seconds into the flight.
And Steve Agid just confirmed a jettison of the 2 solid rocket motors, and the mission continues nominally. Our next event is main engine cutoff, or MECO. And now again, let's go back to Steve Agid.
Into the flight. Chamber pressure on the main engine continuing to look very, very good at this time. Roll control very good. And main engine pitch and yaw control very good, well within our ability to control. Coming up 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Now passing an altitude of 32.2 nautical miles, velocity 7,080 feet per second, downrange distance 45.9 nautical miles. 2 minutes, 35 seconds in. Still looking good. About 1 minute, 25 seconds or so until main engine cutoff. Coming up 3 minutes into the flight. Mark, 3 minutes in. About 1 minute now remaining until main engine cutoff. Chamber pressure is holding very solid at this time. Very little roll nozzle activity, well within our ability to control. Main engine pitch and yaw is good. Now passing an altitude of 55.2 nautical miles, velocity 13,142 feet per second, downrange distance 135 nautical miles. About 15 seconds now until we go to the partial thrust mode. We'll be in the partial thrust mode for about 5 seconds, and then we'll have main engine cut off. Standing by for the command to go to partial thrust. And we have partial thrust command, thrust level beginning to drop in the main engine. Standing by for MECO. And we have MECO. Standing by for 1-2 SEP. We have 1-2 SEP. Standing by, net speed is now increasing as the nozzle is deploying. Standing by for igniter spark. And we have igniter spark standing by for ignition. And we have ignition. Ignition on the second stage. Second stage chamber pressure is beginning to rise. Good chamber pressure on the second stage, good steady state value. We have fairing SEP. Coming up 4 minutes, 55 seconds into the flight. Now 5 minutes into the flight, still looking good.
This is Delta Mission Control, and we are just over 5 minutes into the mission. And we've just heard Steve Agate report the successful execution of the events comprising the early part of tonight's mission. And we are now in the first of two planned second stage engine burns. This burn will last approximately 7 minutes and 45 seconds.
Engine control and pitch and yaw.
Today's launch was the 349th in Delta program history and the 13th Delta IV mission. The Delta program began 50 years ago this month with the launch of a Thor Delta rocket from Cape Canaveral on May 13th, 1960. Over its 50 years of service, the Delta family of rockets has achieved the most successful flight record of any expendable rocket currently in use, with a success rate of 95.7%. Today, the Delta family consists of the Delta II and Delta IV launch vehicles. The Delta II, since its first launch in February 1989, has tallied an incredible 98.6% success record. And the Delta IV holds an impressive record of 100% mission success, launching all 12 previous missions successfully in its 8-year history. This is Delta Mission Control. At a little over 6.5 minutes